Hello, hi, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. As always, we'll allow a couple of minutes to all the participants to join in, settle down, and then we'll get started. So just bear with me for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get started with the formal webinar, and that's where we'll straight away jump into the discussion. And today's topic is very interesting, and I certainly believe you will learn a lot in today's webinar. So let's allow everyone a couple of minutes to join in and then we'll get started. In the meantime, I have to firstly check on the live stream whether it is working fine, although on the other monitor I can see the live stream has started. But let me also quickly recheck the settings, etc., and ensure that it is working fine because most of you would want to have the recording of today's webinar. And for that, it is crucial, it is important that we have the live stream properly working. So let me just quickly check on that and then I'll be back with you. All right, perfect. So it is working fine and our stream health is also looking good. So that's good. That's a good news that our live stream is working fine. And let's wait for one more minute and then we'll get started. In the meantime, I am going to discuss one very important point with you, and that is how are we going to conduct today's webinar? Because unlike a Zoom meeting wherein you can unmute yourself, and if you have a doubt, if you have a question, you can straight away ask that. In this webinar format, you don't have that option. So how are you going to interact with me? How are you going to ask your question? Or if you have a doubt, how are you going to get it clarified? Now, for that, there are two tools that we are going to use today. One is chat, second is Q&A. So chat is something that we are going to use for our interactions. So if I want to seek your opinion, your inputs, etc., for that we are going to use chat. And for questions, we are going to use Q&A. So if you look down below in the navigation, that's where you will see there is a question mark. So there's one option which has a question mark on top of it. So you have to use that to ask questions. You can technically put your questions in the chat also, and I'll try to have a look at that. But sometimes it happens there's a lot of exchange happening in the chat, so there are too many messages coming in, and your message may move up, and that's where I may just overlook it. So that's why it is recommended. I will strongly recommend if you have a question, you want to ask me something, you want to get clarification on something, then please add that in the Q&A, not in the chat, right? So chat is more for interactions, sharing your opinion, sharing your answer. For that, you should be using chat. And for questions, try to keep them in Q&A. And towards the end of the session, if time permitted, I'll also see if I can unmute few of you and we can have a in-person interaction as well. All right, so let's get started. Let me quickly move the chat window to the other monitor. And I will also move the Q&A window there. So I'll keep looking at them. So if you ever see me looking to the side, that's where I'm looking at the other monitor where I have the live stream going and I have the chat and the question answer window going. So I'll keep peeking to that side from the time to time. Uh, and this is where we should get started. So I'm just seeing that there are a few participants who have just joined us. So let me welcome them as well. Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. We are going to move ahead now with the discussion, and there is one quick point I would want to share with you before we get started, and that is how are we going to interact. So for that, we are going to use chat and Q&A. So if you have a question, please add that in the Q&A, and if you would want to just share a response or share your feedback, share your opinion, etc. For that, we are going to use chat. And today's session is, by the way, going to be interactive. So it is not like I'm just going to teach or just give a lecture here. No, it is not going to be like that. We will collectively and jointly go through this session and try to understand about discoverability and AI discoverability and how you can have the right digital catalog that attracts international buyers and gives you the right results. All right, so this is where let's begin. Let's get started. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. And I will now start the presentation. So just allow me a quick second to do that, and then we'll move ahead. And I'm hoping I'm audible, although in the meter I can see that the audio settings are perfect, but still it will help if anyone of you can confirm, just type yes, audio is okay in the chat, and I will know that. I don't have a co-presenter here today who can confirm my audio is perfect. So I'm just guessing that all of you can hear me properly. Although on the meter, I can see the audio levels are okay. Perfect. So thank you, Madhurji. Thank you, Neha. Uh, Najid Ullah, and now there are so many who are confirming that the audio is perfect. So thank you, all of you, for confirming that you are able to hear me. And this is the webinar. This is the reason why we are all here. So how to build a digital catalog that attracts international buyers. And now let's move ahead and I am certain that many of you don't know me. So that's where let's start with my introduction. Who am I? So my name is Adnan. I'm Director Digital Commerce at Global Inker. And I have about 2 decades of experience, about 20 years of experience in digital and technology. And at Global Inker, there are two distinct roles I play. The first one is of a business head, wherein I head all the digital commerce related initiatives and products that we have. And the second role is of a public speaker and trainer, where I conduct a lot of training sessions, webinars, workshops, conferences, etc., and try to share as much knowledge and information as possible to business owners, because in today's day and age, almost everyone is wanting to grow digitally, or they are wanting to adopt digital and technology to grow their business. But unfortunately, most of them are not able to do it effectively because of lack of knowledge. They are not aware, and because of that, they are not able to use the right solutions. And that's where we try to contribute by conducting a lot of such webinars, workshops, etc. I personally conducted more than 500 such sessions. I'm not counting them anymore, but almost 4 or 5 of them a week I'm doing. And I had the wonderful opportunity of connecting and sharing some knowledge and some digital expertise with about 12,000 business owners in various countries. So that's a quick introduction about myself. I'll be more than happy to share my contact details with all of you. In fact, I will do that later in this session. And you all are more than welcome to connect with me if you need any suggestion, any feedback that you would want to share, or you would want to just connect briefly to have my inputs on your existing digital presence and how you can make it better. So I'll be more than happy to contribute to that as well. So that's a quick introduction about myself, and let's move ahead with today's presentation. And here we have the buyer discovery shift, which is happening. And if you are getting or feeling a little confused that, okay, the webinar was supposed to be how to create a digital catalog that attracts international buyers. Now we have ample amount of tutorials available. So I'm not going to walk you through that. You have to input your business name here, or you have to upload your products like that. All that is available as tutorials, and I'll be more than happy to share. In fact, towards the end of the session, I'll share all those tutorials with you. But the important point which I wanted to stress upon and also work with you in today's session, because it is important that you understand where those gaps are that are impacting your digital catalog and your business, and you are not getting the right visibility in front of international buyers, right? So and that's where we are going to understand what is the change which has happened and why your website all of a sudden is the most important asset that you have. with respect to your AI discoverability or business discoverability. So, what change has happened? And all of us are familiar with that change, and that change is now AI search is becoming mainstream. What does that mean? So, it means that when a buyer is looking for a seller or a importer is looking for a supplier, they are not using search or the conventional search that we are all familiar with. They are using AI. Right? So instead of typing it on Google, they are typing it on Gemini, ChatGPT, etc. Find me suppliers of black pepper from India who have Malabar M1 grade type of black pepper, right? So that's what they are doing. And that's where, if your business is not AI discoverable, you are losing out. And you are not just losing out, you are absolutely invisible. And that's where it becomes crucial for everyone, especially for exporters, to be AI discoverable, right? And that's the shift which is happening, which is I've captured in this presentation also, that AI is the primary medium, or it is becoming primary medium, and it is speculated that it is very soon going to replace the conventional search. And when that happens, because the source or the core of all information is where? Is your website, right? If they have to know anything about you, obviously the reviews and social media posts, all that matters for AI, but the core or the source is your website. And if you don't have the right information on your website, then you may not get discovered, or you may not get shortlisted. Even if you have managed to reach the buyer, there are chances that that person may not select you. In fact, I will highlight that with a real conversation which I had with one of my friend. He's at a senior position in Gulf, and heads procurement for a very large company. So I was having an interaction with him, and obviously with the intention to have a real world understanding how the AI is impacting the corporate procurement. And that's where, or importing for that matter, to be precise. So that's where I was not surprised, but that testified my understanding that they are extensively using AI for procurement. So at one side, they have these AI tools, proprietary AI tools that are helping them evaluate suppliers or evaluate quotations from suppliers. So L1, L2 analysis, all that is now AI is doing, right? So they are saving on manpower there and time as well. At the same time, a lot of time there are suppliers who are approaching them that we are providers of these products, etc., etc. And then also they are using AI, right? So if you were thinking in your head that, okay, I will do a cold reach out, I'll do a email campaign, or I'll do a campaign on LinkedIn, and that's where I will be able to reach to these international buyers, and I should be able to do business with them. And that's where the catch lies, because these international buyers that you are imagining or thinking of reaching out to, they will also use, or they are actually, my friend has confirmed that they are actually using AI to evaluate suppliers. And that's where, even if you have reached the buyer, you have reached the source, and on the last step remains, where you have to get into a conversation with that person, and that person happens to use AI. And if you don't have the AI discoverable website or digital catalog, you are again not going to be get recommended by AI. And when that does not recommend, obviously they don't move ahead with the conversation, and they just ignore that cold reach out, right? So that's where, whatever you are doing, having a AI discoverable digital catalog is crucial for you. All right. So that's where the shift is happening. Now, how does it impact? So this is where I've just tried to highlight to you what is important and what is not. So your detailed explanation about your business, about your products, etc., your trust proof, they are all important. If you have a lot of brochures, etc., on your website, or generic marketing stuff on your website, those things are not important. So a lot of time when we are talking about our business, elegant manufacturer, sourcing, etc., so those rosy words, they don't have any importance for AI. and those should be avoided. Now, this is again something which I'm sharing from my experience. I've talked to so many exporters, and some of the exporters, I was surprised when I was interacting with them. They had this notion that if I'm showing a product on my website, that's where I have to just add basic details, because the other person who is looking at this information, they are professional buyers, they have an understanding. But that is a very seriously wrong assumption or interpretation, because understand, in order to that person, or in order for that person which is your international buyer or importer, to find your product, you need information, right? So that person should be first finding you. If you are not adding the information, he or she will not be able to find you. If they are not able to find you, how are they going to imagine the stuff around it? And that's where the imaginary stuff is all gone, because firstly, AI is going to review. So if you don't have facts there, AI is not going to recommend you or shortlist you, and you are not going to move ahead, right? So that is very important and something that you should keep in mind. And now, this is something which I believe all of us understand, but I'm just going to say it again. Why exporters are the most impacted, or why it is hard for the most exporter? Because obviously our audience, or your audience to be precise, is very tech savvy. And that's where obviously it is human psychology. We want to save on effort. So if I have to spend let's say an hour on doing something, and if I'm getting an option to do it in 5 minutes, why will I will be retarded if I'm not taking that option? Any sensible person will take that option, that I can do that task in 5 minutes. So that's one human psychology, and there is another human psychology that plays a significant role here. Understand, all these are professional individuals. That means they are responsible to their organizations for the purchases that they are doing, and anything goes wrong, that's a stain on their reputation, right? So any shipment, any purchase that they have done, and if there are issues with the quality or with the delivery or the timeline, etc., whatever the issues are, if that happens, that puts question mark on their performance, etc., and no one wants to take risk. So that's where they also want to play safe. Now with AI, because it is evaluating and matching every parameter, it becomes a lot easier for them to play safe, right? So they are minimizing their risk and exposure by using AI, or utilizing AI for supplier search and evaluation, right? So that's the impact, and that those psychological decisions which your target audience is taking is having an impact on your business, because that is making you less and less discoverable by the day, because you're not AI discoverable, or the digital catalog or the website that you have is not AI discoverable, right? So I think I've given enough context, and I've spoken enough about the importance of AI discoverability, and I can imagine you must be getting really bored. So that's where let's move ahead with the actual stuff that I wanted to discuss, and that is I've broken it down, right? So we wanted to understand, if you have to build a digital catalog, if you have to build a B2B website, which has the potential of attracting international buyer or making your business AI discoverable, what all should it have? So it should have these five boxes, or five pieces of information. They're exactly not pieces of information. These are elements which should be there. So the first important one is the technical readiness, and then you have explicit identity about your business. Then you have structured content. Then you have FAQs and comparisons, and then you have trust signals. So we are going to discuss each one of them. And let's move ahead with the first one. But before I do that, I need some volunteers, and you're all welcome to share your website link, because if I'm just talking to you about technical readiness, most of you may not. understand it, because obviously this is not a very popular or entertaining topic that we are talking about, right? It is a very dry subject, so obviously it will be harder for you to understand. So in the chat, just type your website's URL and share it, and we'll use those URL to do these tests, or to show you what technical readiness means or what explicit identity means. We'll walk them through, and you will also know that where are the gaps in your existing website. All right, so please do share. Now, this is where what I'm going to do is I am going to open a new browser tab, and I am going to start adding all the links in the chat, or from the chat to the browser. So let me quickly do that. Somehow it was not copied. All right, so this is opened. Good. While I'm doing so, I am also realizing that it is quite a task to copy the URLs and open them on the browser tab. So I will try to find a easier solution for the future webinars. But at this point in time, it is taking me a little time to copy all the URLs, and I may not be able to open all the URLs that are shared by you. I'll try to open as many as possible. But hope you understand, it is not possible to have everyone's website open here and evaluate it, because that will take quite a bit of time. And there is one website which I am not able to open, but we will move to the next one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's open two more. That will bring us to 10. All right, so I have opened 10 here, and if I'm not able to open your website, then apologies, because obviously it is not possible to review everything. But in the next webinar, or you can share the link with me, and I'll review it personally and share the feedback. We'll be more than happy to do that. So this is where we have the different websites of the friends who are joining us here today. And I am now going to help you understand about the technical readiness. And I've deliberately kept this as the first point. Why? Because technically, this comes towards the fag end, or towards the end where everything is set up. No, because this is where, if you are not right here, if this technical readiness is not there, then whatever you are doing, no matter how much content you are creating, how crazy good content you are creating, how much search engine optimized it is not going to give you any benefit whatsoever. So that's where technical readiness is the most important thing. How are you going to test the technical readiness? There are millions and millions of tools available, but there are three things which I would want to share, and all of you can use those tools on your own. They are simple and easy to use. The first is basic indexing check. So it means you go to Google, you have to type site and then colon, and then you have to copy paste the URL. So this is the first website that we have received, and we are going to just copy paste the URL here. So this is where we are checking whether this website's information is there with Google or not. And it is a simple check. All of you should do that. If you have a website, please do this check regularly. You have to ensure that everything is there. Although there is a tool from Google which is called the Google Search Console. In fact, here it is saying that you should be checking. But if you're seeing this fellow, that means there is significantly wrong, because if Google does not have this information, there is almost 99.99% chance that AI also is not aware of your business, and that's where you are not discoverable, despite the fact that you have a website. Despite that fact, you are not discoverable. Now, there is one quick check that we can do further, because a lot of time when it is indexing, it may not appear with HTTPS, but this is where. So this is HS Trading House, the first check we did, and that's where the website is not indexed on Google. A serious issue you should fix on. So that's why now you are understanding. Now, if you have this mistake, no matter what you have done on the website, it is not going to give you any result. The second check that we do is for schema. Now, schema is the schema markups which are there, and it helps AI to understand your website's information. They are very, very important. They are almost like a golden rule for AI discoverability, and that's where it is important that you should have, especially for the products that you have on your website. You should have the schema. Let's check if we have that. So that's where again we are going to use HS Trading House's website, and this is where I have a feeling that they may not have products. Okay, they only have inquiries. Let's go. Oh, sorry. I think I switched the tab. This is where we have products. Let's go here. Basically, we need a product page to check on schema. So I'm just skipping the websites where there are no product pages. And that is another serious issue which is there on your website. So this is where we have the product page, but the URL architecture is wrong. So it should be ideally your website URL, then products, then the product name, so that it is structured and human readable and as per the Google's guidelines also. So that is one issue which I noticed. But let's check for schema whether it is there or not. So that is there. This website seems to have products. Let's see. Okay. This is where you can see now the architecture is correct. So it is the domain spicer.com, then / products, and then you have the product name. So the architecture is correct. This particular website, which we used for checking, Igdant plastics, you don't have schema, so that is another issue. Let's check for this product. This is Kashmiri chili powder, and let's check if you have the schema and whether it is correct or not. A lot of websites do have schema. So this is the second check. Let it, okay, your URL is somehow way too long. No, it should not be. Let's check it again. Unreachable, your robotex is preventing uh, the tool from checking. So if your robotex is preventing it from checking, if it is preventing the validator from checking, then there is chances that it may be preventing Google from crawling it, and then the AI bots, etc. So that can be an issue. Let's see if you can check it here. This is where again we don't have products. For some reason, this website is not opening. Let's try it again. No. And this is another website, Sairaj Globalix. Okay, you also don't have products. Let's see, aluminum scrap. I will check on this. All right, only two pages are there, right? So there is some issue with this website. Now, this is a very nice looking website. I must say. But now you are getting that sense. And this is where, sir, if you are uh, just, feeling that, okay, I am pointing issues in your website, obviously, this is productive. I'm wanting to share that even a nice looking website may give you an impression that, okay, I have everything right and I must be AI discoverable and the buyers globally should be able to find me. But this is where you are guessing or getting the feel that okay, we have just two pages. One is your home page, and second is some news page. None of the information which is there on your website, all this Kashmiri chili and turmeric and coriander and garam masala, nothing is there on Google. And when it is not there on Google, it is not there with AI. So you are not AI discoverable, and that is a big issue with the discoverability. Let's check Kabir spies uh, if we have the schema there. Let's do the test there. Otherwise, I will provide the example from my side. I was not wanting to do that, but that's where again we don't have schema. And let's check one more. This is where there are no products. So let me show you an example. So I'm going to switch the tab. There are many examples I have here. I am going to randomly take a product. Now, obviously, I'm taking this product because these are generic product and we are all very familiar with. Let's take this one only, Tej Patta. So again, URL structure, URL, then forward slash product, and then you have the product name or the product URL. It should not be like your website and then forward slash product. That is not the right architecture. And now I'm running results. So ideally, I'm showing you how ideally how it should be. So I've shown you two tests. One is you should check here. So this is basically, or if I have to explain it a little technically, so this is where what we are doing is we are checking how many pages from your website are indexed on Google, or does Google have information about your business? And that's where we have seen one business which we reviewed, HS Trading. None of their businesses or websites information was there on Google. And then after that, we did this check with Spisa, and same thing, only two pages are there. So that is one check that we have done. If I'll try to check it across other websites also and share the feedback. Now, the second is the schema, which is very crucial for AI discoverability because it helps AI understand the information which is there on your website in a better way. So that's where for a product, and that's the most crucial part because the search now happens for the product. So no one is searching for ABC Enterprise. They are searching for black pepper. They are searching for aluminum scrap, or they are searching for other products or aluminum ingot or whatever they are wanting to import, right? So they're looking for the product who matches their specification or requirement, right? So that's where on your product you should have these two pieces of schema. One is organization. Obviously, it helps AI understand who's the seller and what's the organization. And second is the product. So this is where you can see type, and it should be product. If it is not product, it is breadcrumb or article or web page. That's where again you have schema, but it is of new use. So right tags should be there, and that is giving the right information to AI that it is a product and it has a pay ID, and this is the product, this is the description, those are the images, etc. So every piece of information is easily consumed by AI, and then now AI can use that for recommending this particular supplier to customers, or for doing the evaluation, recommendation, etc. So for all that it can use. So this is the second test that all of you should be doing to understand whether your website is AI discoverable or not. This third test is of speed or performance, and that's where you can use page speed. So it is pagespeed.web.dev. It is a Google's tool which you can use easily to check on your website speed. So all you have to do is just copy paste the link or the URL of your website like this, and then let it run. Now, You may feel that, oh, okay, it is very technical. There are so many things that are listed there. We don't even know what that means. So just look at it from the colors. It should be green. If it is not green, there's an issue, right? So that is something that you should do. Let's uh, let's check for this one. I'm just in the meantime, while the test is running, I thought of showing you the indexation for one more site. But this is where again you can see one, two, three, four pages are there on Google. But how many are actually there? There are many, many more, I believe. Not so. There's one about us. There's one about company. So why there are two about us? That is little strange. And then you have products. So quite a few of them. So certainly you have more than four pages. So most of your products, they are not there. So this is where you have all products. Then you have roto molding powder that is there, and fresh product, something like fresh product is a page on your website, and that is there. Other than that, Google does not know that you have a foam powder, or you have a custom colors, or you have a uh, LLDPE blue roto powder. None of that is available with Google and with AI. So you are missing out on that. All right, so let's quickly go to the page speed and see it has. So the mobile score is 87, which is nice, but it is still in orange. So it should be better. And this is 85. So it varies from business to business and website to website. So do this check also. But these two are the most crucial. If this is not there, you are absolutely not there in the race whatsoever. And even if you are here, you all the pages are here, but if this is not there, then AI can't make sense of what you have added, and obviously it can't use that, right? So it gives you a sense about the technical readiness, right? So do these three things are extremely important, and I hope you have a better understanding about uh, the technical readiness of your website. All right, now let's go to the second point, and I have independent slides for that also. Why technical visibility fails? Because your website is not indexed, it is slow, you don't have the schema, and that's where it misses. Now, the second one is clear identity. Now, clear identity means about your business, because conventionally it was not important that knowing you and your background, your certifications, etc., that was not important. But in today's day and age, it is important, because that assumption factor is gone away. So a human can come and they can still call you even if they have questions. AI is not going to call you and ask question like, okay, I came to your website, but I couldn't find this information. Can you please elaborate? AI is not going to do that. It is simply going to push you out of the list, right? So that's where having the information about your business now, conventionally, if we are looking at website, they generally used to have one, two pages about the organization, but not anymore. You need many, many, many pages about the organization. Now, let's go through these examples that we have in front of us, and let's see how we are doing on that parameter about the business information, right? So, this is where we are looking at the website of HS Trading, and there is about us. Let's go there. Okay, so there's some information added about the organization, but again, firstly, the volume of content is on a lower side. Ideally, it should be 250, 300 words, or 250 to 500 is something that should be there. So from that volume perspective, it is not there. And then the design is also impacted, or there's some issue with the design, which I can see because the text and the image alignment is here and there. So there seems to be some issue with that. There is one more page about quality and sourcing. So that's where you have food categories and some information available there. And other than that, you don't have much information. Now, if someone is looking for these kind of products and they are wanting to evaluate suppliers who have these certifications, etc., because you haven't talked about that, or they are looking for people who are doing ethical sourcing or sustainable sourcing and some other parameters, but you haven't talked about that, that's where you will be missing out. Let's look at, and I can show you how it should be done, and I will show you that, but we'll do a little later. Let's go through the other example. All right, so you have export import. Let's go to the export import business, and there's about us, profile and services, and the brand. So other than that, I don't think. Let's go to profile. All right, so you are also into services. There's some information there, which is good, but you need more information, and these are the brands that you have. So again, download brochure. Ideally, these should be linked to a page on your website, because that's where AI will be able to understand that in a better way. Let's go to the next one. This is Ekdant Plastic, and this is where let's see how much information do we have about the organization, right? So that's where you have our story, and then you have gallery and contact details. That's it. So if I have to count like one, two, three, four paragraphs worth of information about your organization, and this is one paragraph again, and then you have some bullet points here why choose us. But again, if we are just looking at it overall, the amount of information which should be there to provide clarity about who you are, what you do, and what are your credentials, etc., that is not there on your website. So even if AI finds you, it will not be able to evaluate you or recommend you confidently. Next is Spisa, and this is where we have about us page, and that's where we roughly have 4 lines worth of content here. Let's go and see if we click on learn more and something happens. There's something loading there. And it is actually linked with this page, so it basically reloads it. So other than these 5 lines, there is nothing. Let's go to home page if there's anything else we can find. I think this is the same thing which is displayed in the page there. Nothing else. So that's where again you don't have anything on your website that gives credentials about you. And with the visuals, it looks like you have a large manufacturing setup. Really, very less. I mean, those 5 lines didn't even qualify to be called very less. Yeah, absolutely zero information about your business on your website. Let's move to the next one. And this is where we'll go to the home page. And this is where you have a paragraph on the homepage itself talking about the business and nothing else other than that. There is about us page. Let's have a look at that. And that's where, again, a few lines about the organization. And let's check the certification. That's where this is where you have added the logos. This is you have created a page and wasted it, because this is not going to give you any benefit. Anyone can add these logos. I can add these logos and I can do that in matter of minutes, but it does not give you any benefit. Ideally, your certificate should be displayed. The next website is not opening, so we can't review it. Let's move to Sairaj Globalix, and that's where we will firstly go to the home page because we were looking at the products. Let's go to the About Us page, and on the top you have a good visual, but the image seems to be left aligned. And then you have some content here. Again, the volume of content is very less, and then you don't have any other page talking about your business. So again, from AI discoverability perspective, you are not there. Let's go to Mega Exim, and we are going to go to the About page. And this is where we have some information about the organization and why choose us and all that. But again, overall volume is less, and plus you have a certification page which also has a logo. So you have some download PDF here, but this is where again it is not giving you any benefit. Let's go to Kabir Spies, and here we'll go to home screen. Uh, all right, so we have banners here. Ideally, these banners are to be linked because at this moment they are just there aesthetically. They are functional tool and a very powerful one. So you should ideally be making them clickable so that people can go to a designated category. This is where you have some banners which are linked and which are showing, and this is where you have a little brief about your company, so which is good. And then you have uh, text about core values. This is text which is nice, and then you have very nice uh, uh, very nice visual and detailing. And then you have industries we serve. We are going to go there, and then you have the founder story, and then you have mission, vision, and why choose us. So there's a lot of information that you have on your website, which is a nice thing. And let's see if we have any other. So it seems you have added everything on the home screen itself. And let's see if clicking on About Us, yes. So it basically takes you to the founder story. So everything is there on this same screen. It is not going anywhere. Okay, no, the page is about us. Okay, so it is about the founder story, and then our mission and vision and why choose us. That part is visible, and then you have certification. Let's go to that, and this is how it should be. Yeah, so you have a SI license, right? Ideally, all these should be there, and I can review these as well. So this is how it should be. We have done it correctly. So you have certifications, and the about us is there, but it has to be more. And then we have anything else. There's a careers which is not having an impact. Is where you have brochures in different languages, and that's it. So that's where you have, I mean, as compared to the other websites that we have reviewed, you have more information. But again, this will not suffice for giving you the proper AI discoverability. Let's move to the next one. And this is where let's see what do we have here. So this is where we have the about us information, and this is where you have displayed it nicely. You have the founders information, and then you have the team, etc. So you have the information about the organization in one page, and then you have certifications. And let's see what we have here. So this is where you have added. Okay, so I think we've added the entire high resolution image of all the certificates one after another. So they are getting downloaded. It can be done more presentably. Plus, from AI's perspective, if I was looking at that other website of Kabir Spices, that's where they have given a title also, so that AI knows, okay, you have added this certificate, that certificate. But with the visuals, images, it is not going to be easy for AI. All absolutely impossible for it to understand what certification. So you have added the visuals, which is nice, but you should also give them the name that this certificate, this that certificate, so that AI knows that what certificates you have added. All right. Now, how it should be done. So that's where I'm going to switch the screen. I've kept this for the last. So basically, there's no like a golden rule that every website should have X number of pages, but if you do research about yourself and your products, that's where you'll be able to understand that these are the pages which are required. So, for example, this is a 100-year-old business which is into perfumes, essential oils, etc. Now, conventionally on the website, you would have seen just one page about us, who we are. But this where we have multiple pages. What is the export process? So AI will have this question: how are you going to do the export? So that's where you have an answer: quality and assurance, because they deal in personal use products. So that's where quality is extremely important. So that's where the entire information about the quality testing and lab testing, etc., all that is there. Certification, that's where all the certification talked about those, and then you have the certificates as well. And then we have pages about the sourcing and procurement. So how are they sourcing these raw materials which are used for making these essential oils, etc.? So all that is talked about here. Now there are many other pages including testimonials and case studies, etc., or they have developed specialized packing which helps them do private labeling for their international brands. They have also spoken about that. So this is the kind of detailing which is required to be AI discoverable, right? So having one or two pages does not suffice. You need more pages, at least five, 7 pages should be there, talking about your business, not about the product, about you and your business, about your infrastructure, etc. This is one example I showed you. This is another example of a business which is into jutes, and this is where you can see there are again multiple pages which are created. This is a business which is into export of agri product, and that's where what are the certification, what is the process, because they source from farmers, etc. So how are they sourcing sustainability? How are they following the fair practices with the farmers? They have also talked about that, and they have added wonderful case studies, how they've worked with international clients and how they have helped them, etc. So all that is there, which gives knowledge and information and clarity to AI. Similarly, there's another business, and there are many, many examples that I can take you through, but it helps you understand what level of information is required to be AI discoverable, and that is clarity that you need. So clear identify, you are able to, so what industry you belong, what do you sell, what product do you offer. So product part is something that we are going to cover next, but about your business, right? So your specialization, target buyers, categories, export region, differentiators, all that should be there. Now, these are only indicative. Ideally, it there has to be research which is done to understand what are the important pieces of information which should be there on your website, and then those should be created. The third is the product content. Now this is the most crucial part. Now if you have a website wherein you have just talked about these are the products that we deal in, that's where you are missing out, because this is where I don't think there's an argument. All of us understand that now the search is happening for the product. So, so if I'm an international buyer, I'm wanting to import black pepper. So I'll be searching for black pepper. I'm not searching for ABC Enterprises or XYZ Enterprises. I'm not going to, unless I know about that organization and I have been asked to only source from that organization, then there is a chance that I may be searching for that organization. Otherwise, I will simply be searching by the product. Now, when that is happening, and if you don't have products and individually uploaded products with have the right schema, you are not going to be there. All right. So for a moment, although we have seen the website, but just very, very quickly, going to the website and evaluating if we have the right piece of information here. Now, this is the example which I was talking to, and please don't take it otherwise. I'm not just highlighting that, okay, you have done a mistake, but more from a productive or positive sense that this is something which should not be done. But this where you have just talked about that these are the products that we deal in. Ideally, each one of them. So cumin should be one product. Coriander should be one product, right? It is an effort. It requires effort. Yes, but that effort will give you the result. And this is an effort all of you should be. Go to as detailing as possible, right? So the more detail you will be, the more benefit it will give to you. It is a one-time effort. Every other day, you are not going to be adding products, right? So it is one-time effort. And you can do it in phases also, right? So the most important one, every business has 80-20. So 20% products that are giving you the most business, focus on them, go to as detailed as possible, right? So talking about that black pepper example I was giving you, so if you deal in black pepper, right, and there are different varieties like Telly Cherry and Malabar are there. So if you're dealing in Malabar and Telly Cherry, so you should have multiple products highlighting that this is a Telly Cherry grade and this is the grade, or this is the Malabar grade and this is the M1 grade, or this is the M2 grade, or one product with these variation that have M1 grade, M2 grade, right? So the more detailing you can go, and what is the grain average grain size, and what is the kind of moisture content typically, what is the admixture, and what kind of tests are done for these batches, etc. So the maximum amount of detailing that you can go, the more benefit you will get uh, for that. This is where I don't think there are any products. Let's go to uh, Ekdant plastic. This is where I saw there were products. So this is a black roto powder, and they've added the information, which is nice. And the volume of information for product, the golden rule is 100 to 200 words. So 100, don't be below 100, because that's where you don't have enough content to have the right keywords and be having enough matter and enough juice to be becoming search and AI discoverable. And if you're more than 200, then especially Google perceives that you have too much, and that may not give the right user experience, right? So try to stay between 100 to 200 words, or you can exceed it slightly, but try to be there. And that's where it will give you the right visibility. This were a good thing which I saw, that they have added bullet points. They have avoided long paragraphs, which is very nice to do, but ideally the content, the volume of content should be more. Let's also check if we have a inquiry form here, or we are getting redirected. This ideally should not be there. Ideally the form should open there, then and there itself, so that the person does not get redirected, because otherwise you will have drop off. You will see, if you have Microsoft Clarity or you have Google Analytics on your website, you will notice that you are experiencing drop offs here, right? So there should be no redirection. The inquiry form should open right here. In fact, I was showing you that product. Let me see if I can switch the screen and show you. We were looking at some products here, right? Let's go to spices. I'll open any one product randomly. Let's open, this is Edgewine. So here, uh, I click on inquiry, and straight there, inquiry opens up. So how much quantity I'm looking at, where's the delivery country, and if I have any documents. So for a lot of technical products, there is schematic or a specification document or bill of material they would want to share. So they can also share that with you when they are raising the inquiry. And this is where you can see there are different varieties of Ajwain, which is there. One is for Singapore, the second is for Europe, and there's a premium variety. So all that is here. So as a AI or as a potential buyer, I have all the information in this, where again you can see there are paragraphs, and then there are bullet points to help AI understand, and then there are smaller paragraphs to provide more information, and the title itself is optimized for AI discoverability, and all that is there. So that is helping. Let's look at this example. So this where again it is not just a routine title that this is a Sandalata. It has all the relevant keywords which are highlighting that it is for wholesale, it is for distributors, importers, and for private labeling also, which is a very big business for them. And then it has all the content, especially in form of bullet points, right? So this is how it should be. So you have done that, and I've highlighted yeah, the areas of improvement. Let's go to Spisa, and let's see. We are back on the Kali Mirch. I think we have seen it earlier also. Now here you have a big image of chili, and then you have some content here. Let's scroll down this, where again you have more images, but this thing which I've added here, this is an image, right? So this is not helping here. And what you have added here is a very long paragraph. Now this is wrong, even taking the AI out. So long paragraphs are extremely unengaging. So as a viewer, as a customer, if I come across long paragraph, the first thing I have to read so much. So it gives that. Now, if I break it down into smaller paragraphs and bullet points, it becomes easier for the user, right? So long paragraphs are to be avoided at all costs, right? So break it down into, and again, the volume is quite less. So you should have more text and all this which you are highlighting here. Ideally, it should be as part of the text content because for AI it is not possible that it can read. If it is given specific instruction, then it can, but while it is scrolling, obviously it will not. So that is a big issue. Let's go to the next website and let's have a look at the product. This is where we have golden milk ready mix. Looks interesting. Do we have a link here? There is something appearing when I'm hovering on it, but nothing. Uh, Okay, copy head link. What does that mean? I am not getting the link. There is inquiry. So if you have not created your individual products, then you should be creating. This is not going to help you in any way. It is not going to help you with AI discovery because everything is on one page. Ideally, each one of them should be independent. So if it is a dehydrated Alfonso mango, it should be a page. And if you are having multiple varieties of dehydrated Alfonso mango, then all of that should be clearly shown on your website. If it is not shown, then you are not visible neither to search nor to AI, or especially if AI is going to be looking for a specific product. And considering this is not a independent product, independent product means this kind of a thing, wherein it is a product which has your domain forward slash products and then URL, and then it has its own title, it has its own content, its own visual, right? So everything, this is a product presented on the website. This is just a page where you are talking about the various products that you're dealing in. This kind of page will not give you the discoverability. Now you have now we have Sai Raj. Let's go to the products and let's see what we have here. And this is again, we are, I think, seeing the same pattern here, wherein all the products are displayed on the same page. Again, this is not giving you the discoverability, and there is so much now talk happening about environmental sustainability, and there's a good demand for these areca products. So ideally you should be, this should be the first thing on your to-do list, that you should be uploading these products individually, because otherwise you are missing out on all the action which is happening around the products that you deal in. Let's go to Mega Exim, and this is where, because they have created the navigation, let's go to spices. There they are slightly more easier to understand. So this is where they have added coriander, cumin, and turmeric. And do we have individual pages for them? Yes, we do have. So we have green coriander and we have coriander seeds. Do we have anything else? No, we don't have. So this is also wrong. This is where again you don't have information. This is where technically you have created the pages subcategory, but you don't have the product pages because I'm not able to click. So this is also not giving you the discoverability. Sorry, I switched the tab. Let's go to the next one. This is Kabir Spice, and I believe we had products here, if I remember. Yes, you do have. So this is where you have cumin, but your URL structure is not there. And this is where, again, the volume of content which should be there, it is way too less. This is just two paragraphs, no bullet points, no FAQs, nothing is there. It should be there to make this product understandable by AI. So that is missing out. Let's look at another product. Let's not just base. Let's go to black pepper. I'd been talking about black pepper all this while. So this is black pepper. Now, because we are looking at black pepper, there's one suggestion that I would want to share, an unwanted suggestion, but it is important. So internet is getting flooded with AI created images, right? That's where the funny part is AI itself does not give much weightage to AI created images, right? So this is where we are looking at an AI created image. We ourselves use AI created images, but that should be your last resort. So if you have product images, ideally use product images. You can edit them. So whether you are editing it with Photoshop or you are editing with AI, it is not AI generated image, it's an AI edited image. That is okay, but it should not be. So AI generated image should be your last resort. If nothing is available, then go for it. But ideally, you should be using actual product images, edit them with AI, make them look beautiful and nice. You shouldn't be like using the raw ones unless you're able to shoot very nice raw images, then certainly you should. But otherwise, try to use actual product images. And being an exporter, you are closer to the product, so I don't think you will ever have issues getting the images. But this is where the content is quite low. Let's look at the website. This is we have cosmetics, and I think all the products are on the same page, and this is again not the right thing to do, because if the person is searching for this one or that one, it will not get discovered. Ideally, each one of them should have their own pages. Now, let me show you how it should be. This is a B2C example. I would not want to show you that. Let me show you one example. Let's going to just open one of the products. Now, this where small paragraph talking to the product, then you have features, attributes, then you have more information, and you also have FAQ about the product. AI loves FAQ, so you should be adding FAQs to literally every page that you have. But the more important thing, or something that you have to address before that, that is each product should have its own independent page, and you should go to extreme mad level of detailing as possible, and that will give you good results. And using that detailing, you can create FAQs and all that content. So that is extremely important. If you don't have that, that's where whatever you have created is of no good. All right. So that's there. And I've talked about that. So I'm not going to read the content which is there on the slide. I've talked about the dedicated pages, yeah, and then clear categorization, use case specifications, etc. Now, why business only websites fail? So this is where uh, websites which are more focused on the business and not giving information about the product. That's where, because the search or uh, the people who are actually your customers, they are looking for the product, but because you are not talking about the product, you haven't added that as a independent page on your website. Yeah, you haven't given it that much weightage. So obviously, why would you be recommended? So that's why those business only websites are failing. The fourth point is FAQ and comparison. So that's where I've already talked about that. So add FAQs, add questions, even possible add them as a content page onto your websites, and if possible, compare two products. If you have similar products, for example, you're dealing in black pepper and you have Talicherry and Malabar, so you can compare like what are the comparison. You can create a page around that, right? So AI loves those kind of things, and that will give you a better discoverability. But this is deliberately kept at the fourth level, because you have to fix everything which was there on top of it, right? So first, second, third needs to be fixed first, and then you can come here. So alternatives, suitability, and all that you can add. Now, from where these questions come, this is a very common question that I get in my interaction, like, how will I know? So one is research. You can even use AI to do that research. Then there's a platform called Answer the Public. You go there, input your products, and it will give you a very long list, and then you can filter out the questions which are relevant to you, and then you can start answering them. And then you have sales calls, your distributors or your trade partners, objections, your support tickets, or people also ask related to your product. So there are multiple channels through which you can understand what are the questions, and you try to answer them. The first is trust and authority, and that's where all your social media channels, if you don't have social media, create, you should have LinkedIn, you should have Instagram, you should have Facebook, and if you can create short form content, you should have Facebook, YouTube as well. So all that, and then Google My Business. If you don't have that, that is the first thing that you should be doing after this webinar. Because if you don't have that, that's where you are losing out. And some experts call it uh, even your passport for AI discoverability, Google My Business. So I'm going to just open it here, and it is very not that complicated to set up. So let's see. I am trying to see if I can find you and show you. So this is where we have the business, and you're based out of Mumbai. So let's try to make it local. And if we see the, yes, we have. So this is your Google My Business listing, and it has to be optimized. It is not optimized, and this is where I'm not just talking to Golo Cuts Healthcare. I'm talking to all of you. So you should have Google My Business profile, and it should be updated, and try to get as many reviews as possible. The first is, if you haven't set it up, set it up. And if you have not updated it, update it. So this is where few issues which I can see on my screen. The first one is it does not have any images. So add images about your business, about your product, about your factory, office, etc. Add those images. Then coming here, the categorization should be correct, right? So it is categorized as association, which looks like a wrong categorization. Correct that. Then you have address. Ensure that the address which is here and the address which is there on your website, on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, they are all the same. So there's a audit called NAP audit. So name, address, and phone number. They should be the same. If they are different, AI is not able to going to understand that all these pages are of your business, right? So for a moment, if you we go to your website, this is where we have Crystal Place, whereas here the address is something else. So get it corrected, and then you haven't added your phone number, and then you haven't linked your website. You should do that, and then you have to add a brief about your business. Try to add a search engine optimized link your social media channels, and get reviews. So that should be there. So this is extremely important. So that is your social proof. That's where you're building authority. Now, there's one tool which helps you build authority, and that's there on your website, and that is blogs. Let's see if we have blogs here. We don't have, sorry, I keep coming back to the presentation. We don't have it here. Let's see. We do have blogs here. Let's see. What do we have? So this is where on January 28, 27, 17, you are actively adding blogs, right? So this is okay. So these are recent ones. Let's go to one of them. And this is where you have added a blog, which is nice. Should be regularly adding them. So because after Jan 28, and this is Jan 28, which year? Last year or this year? It is only Jan 28. So I'm assuming this is this year. So you should be adding more blog articles. And let's go to, this is where again we have blogs. Let's go. And blog is actually linked to about us, and there's nothing there. So blogs are not there. This is where we don't have blogs, and this is where we do have blogs. Let's see what we have here. So there is blog introduction, and then some information. So you are also not posting blog articles. This is where we don't have. This is where again we don't have. And here we do have blogs here. All right, so this is 1st January. Why are, okay, 1st January 2024, and they are all posted. They are not posted. They are images. They are not blog articles. They are images which are added here as placeholders. And there, so blogs are not there. So now let me highlight or try to highlight to you why, how it can be very powerfully used. So this is a business which is into this export of organic spices, right? Now here you have a blog article, how to verify quality and certification of importing spices from India. Now, any international buyer, especially the ones who are importing for the first time, they'll have this question. What will they do when they have this question? They'll either Google, or they'll ask AI. In both the cases, because we are providing an answer to that, or Lakshata Organics is providing an answer to that, that will give them traffic, and it will grow organically as they keep working on that. But it will present them as a authority, right? So you are a subject matter expert. It builds, it improves your authority, right? So that's why it is. important and that you should be leveraging that. This is a very, very powerful tool which is available to you at your disposal, which you can use very easily to create blog articles and improve your authority and discoverability. So, very powerful tool which is available, which you should be using. So these are the things. Now, I've already spoken about why exporters are hit so hard. Now, the gap I've shown you, so I'm going to skip this slide. Now, this is where one realistic thing which I would want to share with you. And this is something which I'm sharing based on my interaction with almost 300 exporters. And the realization is we had worked with many, many exporters like you to help them make their business AI discoverable. But the realization is you have to work on so many things. You are busy, you are not able to spend enough time to educate yourself, learn, or the team that you have is not tech savvy enough or competent enough that they are able to do it themselves. So even out of those 300-400 exporters that we had worked with, only a few, one or two, were able to create something decent. Again, not perfect, but something decent. So that's where the realization is that if you have to fix all these, you may not be able to do it yourself. So that's where we have created a solution for that. And that solution is done for me, B2B website setup service, wherein our team of experts will do the research, they will create the right amount of content, they'll create the right product information, the blogs, everything, design, banners or applying color schemes, everything is done for you, and you don't have to get involved into it. You have to just provide basic information and we do it for you, right? So we help you become search and AI discoverable. And the good part is at this moment we are offering this at a discounted price. The price for this service is 40,000. In fact, if you go to an agency and get this kind of work done, they will easily charge you 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees. But here we are offering it at a discounted price of 24,999, and which is a bargain, and you will get a AI insert discoverable. So all these examples which I was showing you, they are part of this offering. So they have availed this service, and they are now search and AI discoverable. So let me quickly show you what this service is. So for that, I'm going to switch my tab. I will have that here. So this is the service. I am chatting the link of this service here in the chat for everyone. So you can review and start making the purchase. So it is done for me B2B website setup service. And this is where we have already talked about the commercials, but what all is included in it. So this is where it includes content optimization of up to 100 products. So we will optimize the content and upload them. So you don't have to get involved into that. You have to just provide the basic information and visuals that you have. If visuals need to be enhanced or edited, we will do that. Also, we'll do the meta updates. So you have the right meta title and meta description, and which is helping you with the right index section on Google. So we work on the product, and because the product is the heart and the soul of AI and search discoverability, so that is the first thing that we target. And then we have the business information pages. That's where we create at least five, minimum five. We do a research about your business, about your products, and if required, we'll create 10 or 11 depending on the business to business, but minimum 5 pages are created. And we also do the SEO meta uh, content update, and then we have the basic SEO setup. That's where which is also referred as the on-page SEO. So we do the meta update across the product. The content of all the pages and products is already search engine optimized, and then we also create 5 blog articles that are important. Again, 5 is minimum. Depending on the research, if we see there's a requirement, we'll create more as well. So we'll create 10, 11 also if required. And then we will do an integration with a platform called Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a tool from Google which helps you understand and monitor your indexing and your performance on search. So it is very important to ensure that your website and all the pages are getting indexed on Google, which is very, very crucial for search and AI discoverability. Then comes the design part. So we have a theme based model wherein we'll help you choose a suitable theme, and then our design team will design the banners and do the color customization for you. Then we have marketplaces. So we have two marketplaces in case you are not familiar. So we have Indian Business Portal, which we have created in collaboration with the Federation of All India Export Organization, which is a premier export promotion body by the government of India. And we have another marketplace, which is the Global Income Marketplace. So Indian Business Portal is a marketplace where, as an exporter, you'll be showcasing your products, and international buyers are brought in through VO's effort, and they connect with you and do business with you. On Global Inker is a cross-border B2B sourcing platform where domestic as well as international sourcing happens. And Here also, the international requirements are growing. In fact, one of the deal got closed yesterday only. So this is where both type of requirements are here, and this is where you get the additional discoverability. Now, a common question related to these is asked like, what is the differentiation between the two platforms? They look very similar. So, Indian Business Portal, as you know, is created in for a collaboration with the Federation of All India Export Organization. So, it is promoted through the government channel, and it is only international or only export focused, right? So no domestic sourcing happens here. Whereas the Global Income Marketplace is a cross-border B2B. So this is where you have domestic, you have international sourcing, and it gets promoted through the digital channels, through the various association and affiliations that we have in different countries, and through that, through our partnerships, etc. Now, very, very quickly, I'll just sort of sharing with you as these tabs are open. So we also work very closely with the Department of Trade and Industry, Government of Philippines, and we had helped them create marketplaces for two of the major fairs. One is National Food Fair, another is National Trade Fair, and one of the largest uh, operator or one of the largest retail chain of Philippines is NCCC. So they are similar to Big Bazaar or Reliance retail in these days. So they have shopping marts and they have hardware stores and departmental stores and whatnot. So they are also one of the largest shopping mall operators in three of the largest shopping malls of Philippines in the Davao, Palawan, and Tagum city operate on the marketplaces that we have provided to them. And these are pure play marketplace, similar to Amazon or Flipkart, where customers can come and place an order. So that was just to provide you a context. Now, so we will be listing on Global Income Marketplace your products and also on Indian Business Portal. We also have an integration with ONDC. So if you are a B2C seller, which I suspect may not be there in today's audience, but if you have an interest in selling B2C, so that's where we can list your products on ONDC also. Your online store is capable to receive payments and integrate logistics. We already have those integrations there. So you have to just switch them on and start utilizing them. With regards to training, the platform that we have is a no code solution. So you don't have to get involved, or you don't have to wait for the your developer to complete this or complete that. You can do it all yourself very, very easily. What we are providing you is a stepping stone or a ground where you can build on top of. And this is where we will also make you familiarize. So once we have done the entire setup, your website goes live. That's where we will do training sessions with you. We will familiarize you and your team with the various aspects. For example, you have to respond to an inquiry, you have to process an order, or you have to add a product or blog article. How are you going to do that? We will help you understand all that. We'll do multiple sessions with you. We have a dedicated project manager model wherein a project manager get assigned to you the moment you have made the purchase, and that person oversees your entire project, and we will also be there helping you and guiding you for the next 30 days, which means that project manager will also guide your team. So because in the initial period you may have questions, etc., so that's where you have someone who can easily reach out, and we have help desk which is always available. Now with respect to timeline, how much time we take, so we take 15 days, and this is where we have also clarified it. So we get started, and then on the 12th day you'll get it for review, and then you can review it, share your feedback, and roughly around 15 days we'll go live, and after that you have the 30-day handholding period also available. So this is the service which is available, and if you all are interested and serious about your business and serious about making it AI and search discoverable, then this is something you should consider. Now, with this, I'm going to turn off my screen share and we'll break into the question answer round. So, if you have already not asked your question, you can ask now. And in the meantime, I am also going to share my contact details. So, if anyone would want to connect with me in person and want to discuss in person, you are more than welcome. So, let me share that. All right, so I have added my contact details in the chat. I am also sharing with you a meeting link. If you are interested, you can also schedule a one-on-one meeting with me. So, I've also shared that. So, any questions in the Q&A? I can't see any question. All right, so there's a question which I can see from Mr. Arun. His question is, we deal in mechanical equipment and wooden toys. How can we create the catalog? So Arunji, for mechanical equipment, you know which all equipment you export or you offer to your customers. So obviously for each equipment, you should have an independent page. Now for wooden toys, again, because there are so many types of wooden toys which are there, but generally we understand that 80/20, which are the generally most important ones or most exported toys from India. So you should start with that and try to have as much variety as possible, right? So the more you have, the more are your chances of being discovered, because now you also have image search. So there may be a buyer who is searching through an image. Now, if you have that independent product created with that image, your chances are of being appearing in the image search. In fact, on Global Inker also, we have a image search RFQ feature. So a lot of times, especially for mechanical products, like your engineering products, it is difficult to describe them. So what buyers do is they upload the image. So if, they are looking for a let's say clutch plate assembly, so they'll upload the image of the clutch plate assembly, and AI will analyze that image, and based on that, it will create the RFQ content, right? So those kind of things are already happening. So yes, we will have to create the image. You can start with that 80/20 rule, focus on 20%, and then slowly and gradually also keep expanding it further. Next question is from Mr. Abdul, and his question is, hosting and domain is from Global Linker, or so we do offer our own subdomain, which is .linker.store. but I will not advise you to continue with that. So you should be investing in domains. Don't cost that much. So around 1000, 1100 you should be spending every year. Hosting, yes, it is part of the subscription. In fact, I think I missed sharing the costing. So 24,000 or 25,000 is only for the first year. Second year onwards, you're just paying 5,000. Yes, just 5,000. This is for the hosting, tech support, platform subscription. Only that much you have to pay. Or 24 is or 25 is only for the first year. So yes, that is included. I hope I've answered, Mr. Abdul, your question. Your second question is it possible to provide or use our hosting? No, it is not, because ours is a SaaS based solution or software as a service solution. So, a close example is using corporate emails from Gmail. So again, the technology and everything remains from Google. You are using it. Similarly, you are using our solution to operate your website. Right? So technology and the code, etc., will always remain. We will not be able to utilize your hosting. All right. And as we are talking about the hosting and infrastructure, so let me clarify that we operate on enterprise class hosting and a PCI DSS secure infrastructure. So it is extremely secure, as secure that you can even store financial information on it. We don't do that, but that's where this is the best level of technology stack and the security that you can get. And again, at a extremely reasonable price. Any other question from any other user or friend we have here? If none, then we can move ahead to close the session. We have overshot our time limit. I got too carried away. I didn't had a look at the time, and we have almost 30 minutes. But this is not just I'm trying to offer my service, but you get it through us, or you get it done yourself, or however you would want to get it done. But become AI discoverable, because if you're not doing that, that's where you are doing injustice to your business, because it is extremely, extremely important. And you will realize that as the time is progressing, you will start getting less and less business. And if you want to avail of all these interesting deals that we are doing with different countries, and the opportunities that are coming to us, if you want to leverage that, then it is extremely important, not important, it is crucial, essential for all of you to become AI discoverable. Please work on that. All right, so this is where I'll conclude the session for today. If I haven't been able to answer any of your question, or if you would want to discuss them with me in person, you are more than welcome to drop me a message or call me, and I'll be happy to connect with you. All right, perfect. This is where I'm ending the webinar. Thank you all